in Western Music Radio.
欢迎收听硬要听西洋音乐 Radio， 我是久迪。今晚我将带领各位一同探索当代灵魂乐的迷人声响，深入了解一支来自英国伦敦的乐团 Mamas。 那这次久迪呢前往他们在了我台北专场，那很开心也很荣幸能够与他们现场对谈。Mamas 与台湾的这个渊源早在2019年他们首次来台湾，当时呢他们参与摇滚台中音乐节的演出，并对台湾的乐迷留下深刻的印象。而这次再度造访台湾，他们表示非常的开心，而且希望之后可以常常来台湾。那话不多说，现在就让我们一起来听听看他们到底说了些什么吧。
I'm Dave. I play keys in Mamas. Thank you. I have recently changed my setup though since the last two albums, because the keyboard sounds have been quite different. In the past, there were lots of synth sounds and all sorts of strings as well, even everything. But now it's a bit more kind of raw now, straight to piano and Hammond organ, which is lovely. It's much more fun playing like that rather than sort of here, there and everywhere with your hands, different sounds, all this, changing patches on the keyboard. It's just really laid back now. And I'm even sitting down at the piano rather than standing up as I was doing before. So,
yeah, I'm very touched. Okay. So, who are your biggest musical inspirations?
Biggest musical inspirations?
Yeah.
Well, for me, it kind of stems back to, I listened to an awful lot of jazz growing up. Pianists like Oscar Peterson, and George Shearing and, Keith Jarrett, for instance. And then I sort of, went on to listen to people like Nat King Cole, so singing and playing, which I ended up doing as well. And Frank Sinatra, that was a big influence on me. Then I met these guys and they were a massive influence on me as well, sharing all our influences and music that we've grown up with. We do that, we share it together, don't we, in a way? We talk about that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the classic soul thing these days, like Marvin Gaye, Al Green, Stevie Wonder. Then also some of the kind of modern stuff too, a little bit of that, like the kind of soul revival stuff. Maybe like Aaron Fraser as well, Frank Ocean as well. Yeah. Loads of stuff.
Yeah, in terms of like the songs, I think a lot of it stems from the songs. I've always been trying to fuse the succinctness and the condensed quality of something like what the Beatles are trying to do with soul and R&B and gospel, and trying to make that marry as well as I can, really. It's not a jam band. It's not kind of jam soul band. It's not that kind of vibe. These are tight knitted compositions that try to burn brightly as much as they can in a short space of time and be uplifting and joyful.
So how do those influences come together when you guys writing new music?
I guess you kind of just answer that. Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, the process is multi-layered. Yeah, you have initial songwriting, which is like the raw idea, but we all take turns hammering it and shaping it, and it's through playing, it's through discussion, it's through listening to music, it's through living a bit of life. All of these things combine to help shape the music. We know, when it's right, and when it's not right. And if you spend your time between those poles, you'll dial it in until it feels right. It's got to be an emotional reaction. I think we're going to do it.
And that's it. He's answered it. we can have the next question, and when you're ready.
Okay. So a lot of your songs deal with personal stuff and also bigger social issues. How do you find that balance in your songwriting?
Yeah.
Andy writes most of the songs, specifically lyrically, very much so. And no one else, I don't think any of us have contributed to the lyrics at all. So this is not a question for anyone but Andy. More Andy Platts, please.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I comment that much on social issues, really, but maybe now and then. Yeah, little bits and bobs. As ever, I think a lot of the greatest songwriters manage to find something that is personal and universal, that's relatable, but you can scale it down to the smallest degree. it's harder. The older I get, the more I write lyrics first, because it's the hardest thing to do well, I think. The difference between a good and a great song often is the lyric, you know. The music gets taken care of itself, whether it's what I write or what we arrange, but the lyric is like, oh, what are you actually saying? You know, there's no hiding from it. It's either it's going to say something or it's not.
So now, when you make music, you have a lyrics later, not first.
Right. Yeah. More often it's switched. When I was younger, I was like, oh, the music and the melody and like these chords and like it's got to be that groove, and you make a lyric that's so. It's okay, but now it's got to be like it's got to have the quality from the lyric before anything for me.
Okay. Then next question is for you, Andy. You have got other projects going on like Young Gun, Silver Fox, and you have worked with a bunch of different artists. How do this experience outside the band affect your songwriting and the production for Mama Guns?
Well, question kind of applies to the rest of the band as well, actually, because we all do different things.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I think we all bring a richness and variety courtesy of doing lots of different things, and we bring some of that back to this, you know, playing different genres of music, playing in different countries, working with different types of characters and people. These all shape how music is made and how you feel about music. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's kind of works across all of us now.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It all comes home.
I think that as a band, we play a lot of different things, but I think we all agree when we're playing music together, or especially when we're sort of working out new songs, or we're, you know, maybe going into a room to work on new songs, especially, we all agree what is right for Mama's Gun. It's normally very clear to us. This is a good song for Mama's Gun, you know, and I think that uniformity in that direction between all five of us is what gives the band its identity, possibly. And we all self-produce, you know, what we do on the instrument. None of us need to sort of be whipped and cracked, you know. It's very much a sort of quite an organic thing for the five of us. Did I add something?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes. Don't know what you're worried about, man.
All right. You guys are very popular in Japan, and you have even writing songs for Japanese artists. Any cool stories about your Japanese fans or the artists you have worked with over there?
Cool story. Well, I guess if anyone's spent any time in Japan, Japanese people are incredibly respectful. So I found the whole connecting with musical artists out there very respectful, and you know, not crazy or like wild in terms of stories and stuff. Really, it's just been meeting artists, finding what they're about, and trying to pen something that would fit with their sound and their catalogue. I've probably done a lot more writing in somewhere like South Korea than I have in Japan, to be honest. Mm-hmm. And probably more of the songs I've had in Japan have been written somewhere else and then put with the artists and stuff. So, yeah, I haven't spent too much time making music in Japan.
We love Japanese music, though. Big fan of Japanese music. Like the kind of offshoots of Yellow Magic Orchestra and the kind of city pop thing of like Shintaro Sakamoto or Hiroshi Sato or whatever, you know, like we're all big Japanese fans. We love spending time there. I mean, our relationship with Japan has maybe changed a little bit as we've kind of gone further into the soul direction. I think that's kind of across the board with Asia a little bit, since our sound has changed. Maybe we're not quite doing the same huge stages that we were as before, but the love is still there, and it's just playing it differently, you know, for sure. We get that a lot, you know. You guys are huge in Asia, and it's like, well, not really, you know, not really. But we love Asia. Is very dear to every single one of our hearts, I will say, and we come here as often as we possibly can, you know. And Japan is no different, 100%.
Yeah. And you speak better Japanese than me because I can read.
My brother lives in Japan, and my sister-in-law is Japanese, so I spend a lot of time there. Yeah. But I don't speak Japanese really.
So the latest album is a live album. How is playing live different from being in the studio?
It's the Pizza Express.
Yeah.
Express, I guess.
Well, it's different in the sense that when we're playing live, we're very much in a moment and with an audience as well. So there's an energy in the room that I think translates to the recording. And that's, for me, is the main difference. I think certainly when I listen to the Pizza Express live album, I hear us having a lot of fun. I think it's been really well captured. For me, that's the main difference is that we're up there. We know the songs really well, and we're having fun with them, and we're messing around. When we're recording in the studio, it's playing a song that is new to us. So it's a very different kind of energy. It's experimenting and it's exploring. It's different in that way, I think.
Careful.
Yeah, I think in the studio we spend a lot of energy working on an artifact or a song that needs to bear being repeated listens like thousands and thousands of times, and it's kind of flipped on its head live. You're working hard to create these records and these rehearsals to create singular moments in a song, on a vocal performance, trying to connect with every single person there. So in many ways it's like a completely different discipline. It's connected but has nothing to do with making albums on music. It's more about us and now, maybe.
That's drowning a bit there.
All right.
It's quite distracting with the soundtrack.
It's about the present. Yeah.
It's quite hard to think.
It's so hungover.
Listening
to
words, what's evaporating?
Just to
Final question.
Yeah.
Final question. All right. It's been a while since Kiora Jones. What are you working on right now?
That's easy.
Yeah, that's quite easy for us. We're working on a new album at the moment. We have recorded a few ideas that need to be fleshed out and sort of meditated on a little bit. And then we will continue to, Andy will continue to write, and hopefully some of us will contribute. And then, we will hope to record and have an album sort of next year. So 2025. If we haven't released an album by Christmas 2025, we've cocked up somewhere.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thanks, Jenny.
Thank you guys. Thank you for having me. Bye.